She's in, garage all tidied up. Time to strip her down. So the next time she's complete and goes out that door, she'll look $1 million. First thing is detach sidecar from bike. And then I'll leave the bike and strip the sidecar off the frame first. Yeah, I can get the bits of the sidecar put outside then, and then I've just got the bike in here and all the space I need to work on it and start stripping the bike down, literally down to the frame. Cannot wait. Yeah, and then it's sending bits off to get shot blasted, fuel tank, frame, get all that painted up, clean all the engine parts, new tyres, painting, engine, blah blah, plenty to do. Right, dilly dilly. So as we can see, I've been busy, stripped down quite quickly. The nightmare is the wiring. It's absolutely all over the shop. There's people, don't know who's been at it before, but it's got that many cuts and joins and wires gone different places. I know they had a, reading up on some of the forums, they had a problem with these with the charging system. And the wiring wasn't great, it was a bit not sufficient gauge, I don't think. So somebody has obviously done the you know, the adaptation conversion type thing on the wiring and had a go at it. It did obviously charge when we had it, so the wiring must be right, but it's just an absolute mess. But that's my forte. It'll all get sorted out. It'll be nice, neat and tidy when I'm finished with it. So happy days. Hope I remember how it all goes back together. I'm sure I will. It's one of them, same as the Caddy. Looks worse than what it is. There's there's like a fuse box here as well, and bits of stuff. Must be some sort of ECU. Yeah, looks like a regulator on the bottom of there. So anyway, back to stripping. So that's all the wiring disconnected now. Obviously exhaust off. So the only thing that's holding this engine on now is obviously the mounts. I've noticed here as well there's a bolt here. One of the mounts, if I move it from the other side, and I haven't unloosened this, so that's loose. The starter motor was loose inside here, so that was rattling. So that was one of the rattles that was I was hearing from me. I thought it was a gearbox, but There's a starter motor, so that will sort itself out when I put it back together. Yeah, so the engine mounts are still on, but all the way around. There's not that many points, but the drive shaft is connected. So I'll get my manual now, the one that I bought, to see how I take the drive shaft off. I just got a ring of bolts round here, past this sleeve here, so I'm presuming I just undo them bolts all the way around, and that'll pull away from the gearbox. But it's not going to give us much space to lift this engine out, that's all. So I really need that taken right off. But as I say, I'll just have to read the manual and find out. So the only other thing I would have to do is take the whole wishbone off the back. That's holding the back wheel on, and it's part of the drive shaft as well, or the drive shaft cowl. It'll only be a thin shaft that goes through there. Anyway, I'll take a look at that. Once I get this drive shaft off, I'll certainly unloosen out the way and how it's meant to be. I can get the mount taken off and then get this engine took out. Just have to work away supporting the bike, and it'll be a heavy old lump. Not as heavy as my V8 like, but I don't know, I might be able to manhandle it out. Or I'll use my winch. Right, I'll check in later on, guys, see how I'm getting on. Dilly dilly. Well, that was a bit of a chew. Got the drive shaft off. So I just took all the back wheel off. I took the wishbone off and pulled the drive shaft from out the gearbox. These are all the bits here. So we've got the final drive there, what attaches to the wheel, drive shaft itself, union, and the bevel gear there for attaching to the gearbox. Happy days. I've punch marked these as well for resetting the correct gap for the wishbone. 14 thread turn on that and 15 on that, and some bearings in here as well. Here's the wishbone itself. Drive shaft goes through there. There's one bearing fell off. So the other bearings here. It's got all sorts of grit and shit in that, so I'll be getting cleaned out. Yeah, so happy days. I can now take the engine out. I think to give us some room on the top here, because it does have to lift up a bit from the frame. Because of the bottom of the engine sump, if you like. So I'll take the, basically the rocker cover off. That'll be the cams inside there, exhaust and intake valves. So I'll take this head off here. That'll give us a good 5 inches there clearance to be able to lift the engine up and out of the frame. It'll be a bit of a chew on my own, like, but I'm sure I'll manage it. Yeah, so I'm going to get tidied up first. Like, I've got, as you can see, bits of tools all over the plats. So I'll get tidied up, cleaned up, and then I'm not falling on top of things when I'm trying to take this engine out. Dilly dilly. So it's ready to lift. Took the rocker cover off. Plenty of room there now. All the mounts are off. All the way around. So she's ready to lift, but as you can see, it's not going to be easy. I'm contemplating putting my engine hoist each side, lifting it, and then put some wood underneath. Maybe it's on a bit of an angle, and then slide it down. I'm sure I'll work it out. Right, next video, she'll be out. Dilly dilly. Yeah, that was painless enough. Won't need bother. So got the front end to strip now, which is just lots of nuts and bolts, fidgety work. Believe it or not, it'll take just as long to strip all that down, probably, what it is, what I've stripped so far. Well, probably not as much, but a bit of an exaggeration. But it'll take a bit. But yeah, happy days. It's on the floor. Yeah, I'll put a bit of wood on my skate then, put it on top of that, and then I can slide it about the garage. There's nothing really needs doing to this engine, rather than a good clean repaint. I don't know if the valves or anything, they look hydraulic, so they should be fine. The lobes all look fine on the cams. No scoring or anything, so that's good. The buckets look okay. But again, without taking the actual camshaft off, I wouldn't be able to check them thoroughly, but as long as there's no burn on these lobes, and they're not worn, they're not flattening off or anything, the buckets should be fine. I'll be able to turn the engine over and just check the bottom of the buckets just to make sure that they're not worn away or anything. Yeah, other than that, it's just a clean on this. I'll check the old faithful book, and just see if there's any testing and adjusting I can do with the engine out. But other than that, yeah, it's fairly straightforward. That's just clean and ready to put back. The main reason I've took it out, as we know, was so I can get this frame blasted, repainted, redo all the wiring, and basically tidy it up. So that's pretty much it. Good day's graft. Right, I'll get this on the skate and I'll start stripping this front end down. Dilly dilly.